I was in an interview, if I'm not mistaken, I was in an interview with Taylor Rooks. She was asking me about people that I don't like in the NBA. And I said, I hate Chris Paul. Easily 100% my least favorite person in the NBA. I mean every word I've said.
Yeah. I always say this, when anybody say something, I say, I be everywhere.
Yeah.
I say this all the time. I say, I be everywhere. And I say, when these people see me, they don't be on that type time.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to NBA Cinema. Recently, Draymond Green had Chris Paul on his podcast, and the two hashed it out in regards to their past, where Green actually told him, to his face, hey, he didn't like him. He was his absolute worst person, one of the worst people in the NBA to him. And Chris Paul was able to respond face to face. Take a listen here.
I was in an interview, if I'm not mistaken, I was in an interview with Taylor Rooks. She was asking me about people that I don't like in the NBA. And I said, I hate Chris Paul. Easily 100% my least favorite person in the NBA. I wanna walk through these things because, again, we keep, I mean every word I've said.
Yeah.
But, man, there's a journey to get through there, to get to that. And you get something sent to your phone, I'm saying something like that. Number one, talk to me. Like how you what were you thinking of what was being said, goddammit, in that group chat when that came out?
So first and foremost, just like anybody, just like Trav, anybody, all of my homies gonna know who I on rock with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know which time that was, first and foremost, because you just said it a few times, if we're going to keep it funky. So for me, I'm going to tell you, and it's crazy because, I could name a few guys who didn't have that with me in my career. You know what I'm saying? And everybody who know me know, and you know this, Dre, I always say this. When anybody say something, I say, I be everywhere.
Yeah.
I say this all the time. I say, I be everywhere. And I say, when these people see me, they don't be on that type time. And I know it's a respect thing and all this. And then, hell, we showed up at Lebron House for the card game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like all this different type stuff. So when that come across like a group chat or one of the homies or something like that, niggas be like, man, how you even on this rank? I be like, man, I don't know, real talk. And so it's crazy. Of course, all my homies, they, say this and say that. But me, I don't know. I think it's that we differ, like people differ. And I always said, like, if somebody asked me that, I may say something else around it or whatnot, but it wasn't never that deep for me. I knew how I felt, you know what I'm saying? But if somebody asked me, I wasn't gonna say this and say that, but it was, for me, like I said, I'm president of the union for 8 years.
Yeah,
It's been a few guys in this league who would go out here and say something about me, and then what I always say, I'm everywhere.
I'm everywhere.
I'm everywhere. I'm at the meetings. I done had guys who would talk crazy about me on a podcast or a show, and then they come up to me before a game and be like, hey, yo, C, what we gonna do as far as the union stuff is we gonna play, and I be looking like, didn't you just say? You know what I mean? But I think, me and you done talked a lot about all this stuff. It was like when I got traded, you know what I'm saying? When I got traded, first thing, I did is I hit you. You know what I'm saying? Knowing all the different dynamics or whatever it was, sent you a text. I was like, yo, excited to be your teammate.
Yep.
And we talked it out, right? And
Absolutely.
And I feel like I've always been able to stand on that. Regardless what anybody say, this, that, and the third, is that at the end of the day, if you know who you are, then you get past it.
Interesting enough, man. Obviously Book's a teammate of yours. Book, your man, it's still a great relationship. I've known Book since he was in high school, like maybe 15, 16 years old or something like that. And so I've always had a great relationship with Book. I love Book. Like, that's my dog. We playing the Olympics in 2021. And I'm like, Book, I hate him. Like, Book, Book a real one. I love Book, man. He a real one. Book said, I feel you, Dre. I don't know if he really feel that strong about it, Dre. He don't talk about it like that.
Right.
I said, I know he probably don't talk about it, but I fucking hate CP, man. And he yeah, Dre, he don't be on it like that. Like, he definitely don't fuck with you, but he don't be on it like that, Dre. Like, come on, Dre. I'm like, nah, Book, you don't understand.
Now, I mean, shout out to both Draymond and CP3. Obviously, Chris Paul, now his teammate with the Warriors. You can tell it's a mutual respect. Looking at it, you can tell it's just really two super competitive people, right? That when they're on opposite sides, they're really not supposed to get along. I mean, that's the NBA cloth that I was cut from, that I grew up watching. That's what I was used to. And now that they're teammates, then it's like, okay, now we got two dogs. You know what I'm saying? That's both vocal. And even though CP3, you know, is on the in the twilight of his career, he still brings that same fire. And the Warriors actually can obviously use much more of it. But to me, I think it's pretty good that, you know, they show, you know, kind of growth and they kind of hash it out. And I like the CP3 said, you know, look, I be everywhere. You know, if anyone feels that strongly against me, they know where I'm going to be. My schedule is up, because I've heard several people, and even former players, Steven Jackson, what's his name, Kenyon Martin. I've heard them speak about not really liking Chris Paul. And Chris Paul's like, look, I be everywhere. Everybody knows where I'm at. You know, why even say it? If it's not so serious to where, okay, it's on site when I see them. I mean, what do you get out of saying, hey, I don't like them? And later on in the interview, Draymond even talked about, you know, that some of the things that he has to say out his mouth shows the maturity, which I completely agree. And that's why he's been missing a lot of time this season. Even though he's in his 12th year, he's actually regressed in being able to control his emotions. You know, you wouldn't think someone that is a 4-time champion would actually make these, you know, to be like this, you know, where you're actually choking players and stepping on players and punching players. I mean, it's one thing to get a tech when two guys are competing and you get into a pushing, shoving matchup, but some of these have been kind of like, you know, blind shots to the opponent. And you know, it just is unwarranted for someone of his stature. But let me know what you guys think, man. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll be sure to check the comments, and I'm going to holler at you guys next time. Peace.